Alright, so in previous video we demonstrated how you customize your domain. Well, whenever you create your app service in Azure, you will get a URL with the prefix azurewebsite.net, and it's not a good idea to share this URL with your customers. So what you do, you bind or you attach your custom domain to the app service and you provide the domain to your customers. In our case, or in our demonstration, workout.azurewebsite.net is the URL provided by app service for our website. But as I said, it's not a good idea to share azurewebsite.net with your customers. So what I did, we bind our domain, or we attached our domain, we customized this domain because I own Pachehra.live from GoDaddy. So in previous video, we created the A record or CNAME, and after verifying the ownership of our domain and bind it here with the app service. So right now, if I try to access this URL, I'll get the default page of app services because at the backend there is no source code. There is only a single page, which is the web hosting page of app services, default page. Instead of index.html or anything like that, it's this page which is at the backend. So whenever I'm typing this workout.azurewebsites.net, it's landing this page. Similarly, if I type this custom domain here, it will also diverted or routed to the same page. You see that, right? Because when request goes to this, it will go to the DNS registrar where we have our CNAMEs registered, and it gets directed to the this URL, and the backend both serving the same page. But today's task is not this. In today's task, we are going to bind the SSL. This story I was talking about, the demonstration I was talking about, is just to refresh your memory because it's been a while we have created the video for this app service. So this is what we talked about in the previous video, and in today's video we are going to bind it with the SSL so that we could browse it with HTTPS instead of HTTP. Even you can see right now it is HTTP : my domain. But if I add S here, it won't work because this site is not secure, and this is not a good practice. So what we're gonna do, we are going to create a certificate and bind it with our app service. That's the task. Now we can have a certificate from a third-party vendor, or we can use Azure services, one of the Azure service, which is app service certificate, and create certificate from there and utilize it in our app services. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to create the certificate with the help of Azure resource. We are going to create a key vault to keep the certificate. We are going to verify the ownership of our domain so that we can bind that certificate to that domain. So let's get started. So what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and try to create the app certificate. All you gotta do is type here app, or let's just type certificate. You would have app service certificate right here. Gonna click on that, click create app service certificate, and as always we need to go through the wizard for all the resource that we create in Azure. We have to. So let's call it AppCert. Let's give the name of our domain that we own, pachehra.live. And then this is a subscription. Create a resource group. And you need to accept the formalities of legal terms and disclaimer. And now click on create, and it will take a few minutes and you would have the certificate in place. Then you need to perform 3 steps here. Okay, while it is creating, let me explain you the 3 steps. You need to verify the ownership, and you need to put the certificate in the key vault, and key vault will automatically lock this down, and you need to assign this to your app service. So let's wait while it's created and we'll start doing all these steps. All right, it took 2 to 3 minutes and now we have this app cert in place, and I'm in the settings right now, which is certificate configuration, and here we need to verify this certificate against the domain we requested for. Okay, then we'll put it in the store, Key Vault store, and assign it to the app service. That's what we already talked about. So let's verify it. To verify, we are going to, because we do not have app service verification in place, domain verification in place, or mail verification. So the best thing that we can do is utilize manual verification. And we all know in manual verification, just like we did when we customize the domain, we have to create the text record with the name at and the value which is provided. So let me quickly go ahead and create the text record in my DNS and verify it. All right, so it took almost 5 minutes before I created the text record, just like we did, as I already said, while customizing the domain. So it is verified now, and you already know, and I've already showed you how to do that in the previous video. So I did not cover in this video the same step. So let's go back and you'll find there is a check mark and we are ready to assign. But we also need, this is also a prereq. We cannot perform this binding until we have a key vault in place. Okay, so we need to go ahead and create the key vault. And I have a couple of key vault that I can choose, or you can create your own and select it. Okay, if I click here, I would have all the options that I need to choose my key vault. Okay, all right, so I clicked it here and I would have an option to create a key vault right here. I've given the name as Pachehra Vault AppRG and standard tier, and we're gonna create it. Now while it's creating, let's go ahead and you can either follow from here to assign it, or we can go back here and we can assign it from here, or you can go to TLS or SSL setting and you can see you don't have any binding. That's why it's grayed out. You do not have any certificate. That's why it's showing nothing right now. You can see, but here is this option I wanted to show you. while the key vault is creating. Now, you know, it's not always that somebody is going on the browser and typing HTTPS. They type anything. For example, you do not always type HTTPS then google.com or facebook.com or amazon.com, but you just type it, right? So we do not want to reject the HTTP request. So what exactly we want to do, we wanna cater the HTTPS only request. So even if somebody requests with the HTTP, for us it will come as an HTTPS because it will change while during the browser when you hit the enter. Okay, so we can click on and it would always be HTTP. Okay, so for now, until we have not bind it, let's off it, go to the custom domain again and click on binding, and here is the PFX certificate that we use when we create the cert with the help of third-party vendors, but we have created with the Azure Resource App Service Certificate, so we can choose this one, and it's giving the option the certificate that we have created. It's validating the certificate. It is validated because we have already proved the ownership for this, for the domain, for this certificate that we have attached with. Click on OK, and now this exclamation will be removed. All right, now we need to select SNI SSL. Okay, add binding. Okay, cannot SNI SSL for a host name. Oh, all right, my bad. Allow it. Okay. So we must have done something wrong. Let me check. Cannot enable SNI SSL for host name. Okay, because current site mode does not. Okay. Okay. All right, let me check. All right, I know what it is. It is because we have two kind of SSL, SNI, and there is one more, IP, I think, or IPSSL, right? Now, I have created this app service on the shared. That's why it's not allowing me to do that, because in simple words, SNI is an addition to the TLS encryption protocol that binds a website hosted on a shared server with its associated SSL certificate using its host name. Okay, and IPSSL on the other hand binds an SSL certificate to the account with a unique IP address. Okay, so let me try to scale it up and work on it, and let me check if that fixes the issue. And it is always nice to encounter the issue because it actually helps you learn and clear your concepts. So let me try that as well. All right, so yes, that was the issue. As I said, it was the shared infrastructure and SNI doesn't support that. So what I did, I went to the scale up and I changed it to the basic, not the shared one, but the basic one for the testing purpose. And then I performed the same steps. And now I have this binding, and you can see under TLS as okay. All right, I just forgot to okay, It's done, I think. Yeah. Now here we have this host name. This is the certificate thumbprint, and we are good to go. And the things that I was all talking about when during the demonstration, the HTTPS only, because now our website, our Pachehra.live, can be accessed with HTTP and HTTPS both, but we only want the secured request. So I'll click it on. Now it's saving, it's updating, and even here under custom domain, you can see it is on here as well. Now it is secure. Now let's go ahead and try with http colon slash pachehra dot live. Now you see, keep looking here. We request for HTTP and oh, uh, okay, all right, very nice. Come on, maybe it's not saved yet. Okay, see, we are able to access. I think this is it's picking it from the cache, but now you can see it automatically become HTTPS. So this is what this option for. If you only want the secured request, you can choose only HTTPS on, and that's how you bind your SSL certificate with your app service. And SSL bindings are of two kind. We talked about a little bit. It's SNI and IPSSL. And you know now SNI doesn't support the shared infrastructure in the app service, so you gotta move as a basic. Okay, so this is a very a little demonstration how you bind the certificates with your app service and secure. So we have learned how to customize the domain and how to secure the SSL binding. So we are good. Well, thank you for watching and you have a good day.